foundations of the first Canada All-Star Ballet Gala are still in the memory, yet you're already preparing for the next one.
Indeed, there is no reason to stop something that started with such a brilliant beginning. The first Canada All-Star Ballet Gala was amazing. So we decided to keep the speed and to keep the momentum going. Particularly because this year is significant for cultural life and history of Canada. We're celebrating the 150th anniversary of the country. So it was a decision to make a big present to the cultural life of Toronto and to mount the second installment of Canada All-Star Ballet Gala on the 28th of October, again at Sony Centre, Toronto.
So what can we expect to see?
Well, partially it's a secret, but all secrets are to be revealed timely. So like our first gala, the second gala is going to be thematically bound. So the first gala had a theme of historical styles that constituted the foundation of the world of classical dance today. Now, in our next program, we want to stay thematically consistent, and we are presenting the evolvement, the development of the world of classical ballet. And the second gala is going to be dedicated completely to contemporary neoclassical ballet. We will present 17 dancers from the 9 elite theaters around the world, 16 ballet masterpieces, 12 premieres in Canada, which is to say the choreographic works that the Canadian audiences had never seen on stage.
The theme is contemporary dance.
Yes.
Will there be dances in the tutus?
Well, if you're expecting to see ballerinas in tutu, we do prepare one piece especially for you and the tutu lovers. And actually, this piece is going to be our link, our bridge between the first gala and our next installment. This is going to be a classical piece, a very traditional classical piece, which will be presented by the two rising stars. Two very young dancers who are already working in the elite companies in the world. The girl is working in the Mariinsky Theater today, and the boy is working in Berlin. So we're bringing them together as a treat and as a promise of the Canada All-Star Ballet Galas to invest not only in the history of classical dance, but also in the future of classical dance.
So, but like, you still have to prepare the audience, right, for such a radical change in your repertoire.
Of course. Yes, of course. And we never forget that our mission is educational mission. This is actually one of the characteristic features, something that makes our galas so different from many siblings that exist in the world. First, we launch a series of educational programs which will be available for those who want to come and see the performance in Sony Centre, but also for all ballet lovers across the world. In this series of video programs, we would like to introduce our viewers to the world of ballet. So we will present different aspects, different parts that make a performance. Dancers themselves, of course. We will interview many stars. We will talk with ballet masters. We will talk with stage designers. We have even an idea of interviewing a ballet conductor.
Give me some more names. Who will you be presenting at the next gala?
Well, we have a long list of wonderful dancers who already accepted our invitation. Lucia Lacarra, Maria Kochetkova, possibly Ludmila Paliero, who represents Paris Opera, Svetlana Lunkina, the principal dancer of the Canada National Ballet, Evan McKee, our own Canadian star.
I understand that a lot of ballet dancers, they change their roles in your gala. For example, Svetlana Lunkin is, you can call her the program director or the soul of this project, right? I understand there will be a ballet dancer who became a choreographer. Can you talk more about this?
It is a big honor and it is a big artistic event that Svetlana, with her incredible experience, with her exquisite training and sort of a very specific vision that she inherited from her great teachers in the Bolshoi Theater, decided to curate this event. We're building up a panorama. And this panorama, it consists of separate discrete pieces, but selecting these pieces, this moment of match, not only how the whole program comes together, but also how the specific dancers fulfill their position within that panorama distribution of roles, is the vision and function of Svetlana. We also will have a very, very young Canadian choreographer, Rob Binet. He's very young. He was trained in the National Ballet, in the School of National Ballet of Canada, but he already created a lot of remarkable ballets, full-fledged and shorter pieces for many leading ballet companies in the world. He will be creating a special work for this forthcoming gala.
Like, I have a feeling that in the past few years, the level of the Canadian ballet went up tremendously. You know, we saw, for example, that the Canadian Ballet Company went on tour to New York, got raving reviews from New York Times.
And it goes to Paris.
How do you explain it?
Well, Canada, by its historical function, lies at the crossroad of many beautiful, really well-embedded traditions of classical dance, art, music, and it was only a matter of time that many different factors coalesce together and bring some flourishing, some expected and maybe unexpected results that indeed the National Ballet of Canada demonstrating right now. There is a strong cohort of dancers that would be a really big event, a big creme de la creme decoration in any leading ballet company in the world. But they happen to be in Toronto, here and now. So when you have a critical mass of talented, dedicated, well-prepared dancers, which is supplied by the great repertoire, choreographers, current choreographers coming to work with these dancers. Ballet is a theater, essentially. And what is essential about any work of art is a magic. And that magic cannot be completely calculated. It can be all set like a mathematical formula. When it happens, it happens.
What's the difference between, like the major difference between contemporary ballet tradition and the historical ballet schools?
That's an excellent question, because the relevance of classical dance, the relevance of dance as a form of art, and this is a form of art, I will always defend it as a very independent and strong form of art, was always questioned to some degree. And even historical forms of ballet were sometimes innovative, risk-taking. Think about La Symphony.
Risk taking?
Absolutely.
What kind of risk?
Absolutely. When Maria Taglioni, one of the greatest dancers ever, arguably, and a dancer which is written firmly into the history not only of classical dance, romantic ballet, but romanticism as a big cultural movement in Europe in general, put herself on a little reinforced platform and invented point shoes. It was a great innovation and a risk. A risk was...
That she'll fall down or what?
Well, that's the most obvious one, but there is a bigger risk. If the audience likes it, should the audience like it, she took the risk of changing the graphic, the expression of body. She went literally, unexpectedly on point. For that, she had to shorten her tutu. She had to open her legs. She had to extend the movements of her arms. That was quite revolutionary.
Of course, the risk, but like we live now in the 21st century, and I think, you know, there's little risk you can take on stage at the moment, especially if such big names are taking part in the creation of the program, right?
Well, art is always, being an artist is taking a risk. You can't be a real artist if you don't risk, if you don't go into an extreme. Then you are just a performer. But of course, these risks are artistic risks, so they are envisioned in the aesthetics of dance. Contemporary dance, contemporary neoclassical dance, is a very particular form of art with its very specific language, which actually is arranged. The language is a body, a dancer's body, a beautifully trained, demonstrated, quite often in its almost most candid form. So there are no tutus, there is no coverages, it's a body.
They will be naked?
Well, we will not exaggerate the moment of nakedness, but there is no secret that a dancer speaks with his or her own body. So the body is the language. In terms of risk-taking, indeed, there are many choreographic works that present something that is expected in a very unexpected format. For example, one of my most beloved pas de deux, once I said in front of several ballet critics that this is one of the best pas de deux. I'm a passionate person too of the 20th century, which is Angeline Prejocage, a fantastic French-Albanian-born choreographer who will be presented in our program with his remarkable work called Park. And note, this is a work from the late 80s, but it didn't age in my eyes any bit. So there is a kiss in this pas de deux, a remarkable, passionate, beautiful kiss between the two characters. But it goes in an incredible balletic form, and it actually takes the whole stage. This is as much as I can tell you.
So next, Canada All-Star Ballet Gala, which will take place in Toronto on 28th of October. I think it will be more than just educational. It will be also pleasure for the candy for the eye, I guess.
Well, of course, it's a big event, and all that goes into preparation is just the backstage event. What happens on stage is the pinnacle and is something that is a feast for the eyes and the feast for the performers themselves, because they are artists. They are dedicated to their art, as I said earlier. So being on stage together and seeing how well they are, how much they can give together as a group of artists to the audience, isn't that a big joy?